Hi. Okay, so I'm going to jump in and I'm going to do a reading for collective energy right now. Got maybe a distress call, maybe not so much of a distress call, but we'll see. I've got a few decks out here. We'll get some doors just for some easy energy. My Susan Shepherd, resting, well, she's not resting, I'm sure she's busy wherever she is now, but Susan Shepherd, who created the Phoenix cards, the Black Moon Astrology cards, they were my first deck ever. She passed April 19th this past year that I found out, and actually the day that she passed, I had a lucid dream and somebody covered in feathers came and relieved me of a tremendous amount of stress. I have that documented because I document all my lucid dreams. And so so I ordered her Phoenix cards, and I'm going to get some energy from that deck in a moment. And they came to me. I went looking for a special copy of them, set of them, and I found it in I believe Galway, Ireland. Kenny's, if you're in Galway, Kenny's. I've got to remember here. I've got the package right here. Oh, it's covered up anyway. Okay, so we'll get energy from that, Phoenix energy from that, and this is dealing with past lives, but it's dealing with cultures from around the world. So it gives us very interesting energies to work with. I'm not suggesting that you have past lives. But there's a cult, it'll tell me what direction, what kind of energy we're calling on or is speaking to us that wants to speak right now. Let's say ancestral, okay? If not past life, then ancestral. And then, of course, it was just the anniversary of Pamela Coleman Smith's death, or passing over, shall we say, on the 18th of September, which is the day after I hit my North Node. And so thank you to Pamela. We'll bring her energy in. So Susan, I hope Susan is, well, she's probably, they're both busy. But and also the deck that I have, you know, the blue Lenormand. But of course Lenormand never used these cards. She didn't use cards, but they're named for her. So if we need clarification from them because they have information. Okay, I'm just talking myself into this because I'm jumping in from my energy of being stuck way down my rabbit hole with my drawing program, which is why there haven't been readings. All right, so I'm gonna get some doors first. Yes, and then I'll get some Phoenix. I'll get a Phoenix, packs a punch, and I'll need to remember to go get the book on that. Okay. Let's see where you're at. Okay, one, I'm gonna, okay. I'll read them out after. I have that one memorized. Too many, whoa, oh, chaos. Chaos. Geez, okay, lots of chaos. So chaos is a thing. Let's see if we can get a bit of a grip. Okay. Now, so, oh, nice, the keyhole. I always think of that as the keyhole card. Very nice. Okay, and that one's clear. Beautiful. Ooh, very institutional. Okay. All right, we've got some doors. So we'll set those up. I'm just gonna put them up there. Actually, I'll put this one over here. I know that this one will show up more in the shot, so let's keep some bright green in the shot there. Okay, now, normally you don't do the, well, let's see, what do I want to do? We've got matte flashing here. Something to do with justice, something to do with, for me, Libra energy. So whatever connects you to Libra energy. And that all actually, everything Commission has strong roots in Nigeria, actually, with several tribes there. So I think I'll just split this deck in a minute and take a ship there. These cards do work for me to fly. I'll try for a moment. And if not, I'll just split the deck. Hey, Susan. Thank you, Susan. Divine Doors were the oracles that I was using there. Okay, we'll go with that one then. Thank you, Susan. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Is that what I want to do? No, let's flip it over. Ah! Okay, so we have the prehistoric magician, shaman. Alright, I'm going to figure out after which position we want to use this in. Let's just leave them here as a bit of a signifier, because the way that Susan will use them, she has very interesting layouts that she's created. And I want to figure out if this would be good in a sun position, a moon position, a Mars, Venus, Saturn, Uranus, or Pluto position, or Mercury position. And we'll get into the tarot and then we'll know. We will know from that, and then I will read the corresponding part from her book based on that. Okay, so let's get Pamela going now. But we do have, okay, so we're going right back to the beginning. That's actually beautiful for me. I love, I recommend, if you've never seen the Tassili cave paintings from North Africa in the Sahara, if you look them up, I believe Ancient Origins website is the place that I go to get an excellent article on them. But yes, the Tassili, Tassili cave paintings. They are the most gorgeous paintings you will ever see. All right, so we're heading, we've got, hey, it's full moon. It is full moon in Pisces today. I have a cat that's about to yell at me. Ooh, these are snapping. Okay. So full moon in Pisces, and then we are heading into Mercury retro, and we're heading into, well, we've got the autumn equinox in a couple of days. So let's see. Okay, we've got something in progress. It's not straight up and it's not stuck sideways. Wow. Okay. Major timing, 11th house, your unique interests, of course feeling protected, of course feeling guided, and then the process of that. We've got quite a ways to go to get it into the upright. Okay, so there could be some feeling of being unprotected, or having lost, struggling with hope. Emphasis on Uranus and Saturn, so fears, boundaries, and calculated risks with Saturn, but Uranus are your unique skills and interests, your areas of non-conformity. So out of your comfort zone, oh, two together. Two together in unison, wow. Echoing each other. So strong. Now, for me, the King of Wands is Sagittarius, 9th house energy. The King of Wands, of course, has the plan, full of revelations, those lizards. Yes, the tail in the mouth. So the complete revelation. Knowing what to do, 9th house, full faith. Knowing the trajectory, knowing where you're going. Right? And it's all the wands energy, it's all that desire energy, the fires you want to put, you want to create in the world. And of course, Emperor here. Now, for me, this is the male aspect of God. That's part of the shorthand that my my guides, my God, my understanding of God, female God, male God. So now in the reverse, look at this. Okay, so we've got Mars energy here. Loyalties and loves. But why is God upside down? Well, that's going to totally reinforce. But look at this divine timing. He's here. Okay? He's here because he's on the table. So there's an acknowledgement. You and God. Wondering where this is all going and where God is. Masculine God. What about feminine God? Okay, slapping up in the deck. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so for me this is Capricorn energy, 10th house energy. So a lot of mastermind. We've got this is, okay, first house, rules first house, but I've got 9th, 10th, and 11th house here. So this is all very much king and queen energy. This would be for me king and queen of swords energy. And this would be for me king and queen of pentacles energy. This is the fantastic. For me, pentacles, for me, earth energy is very much tied to fairy world. Even more so than wands and air. It's earth and water to me are the most connected to. Not that I don't want to, we all have everything in our chart. So, but there's that portal, that Freemasonic depiction of the portal between this world and the next, right? And the sage looking out at it, knowing that there's more to this life than what you accomplish here and now. But 10 is completion, taking us back to the 9 of Pentacles, which is the independence card, and proving yourself to everyone. Yep, this is all about your uniqueness. For me, because the Tower is Uranus for me, not and Aquarius, not Pluto, Mars, and Scorpio. It's not the same energy as death energy. I'm a Scorpio rising, and it just isn't. There's a split. There's like a 50-50 split in tarot readers between whether or not the Tower represents Uranus better or Mars, Pluto better. And I'm on the Uranus side. So something from the outside. This is your cycle. This is your Uranus cycle. There's something that's happening that has been a long time building. It's now it's Uranus. Normally it'll affect you age 21, 42, what am I looking at? 63. Those would be it's an 84-year cycle to orbit, for Uranus to orbit the sun. And so now those years might be speaking to you, but it could be in the process, right? Like there are it doesn't have to be exactly that year, but it is tied to the cycle of you coming into the next phase of your development according to this planetary influence and cycle. Beyond your control and pulling you more and more into yourself. Oh my God. Okay. Pluto now shows up. So these are in process. So not only are you going through you're going through absolutely also Scorpio energy as well as oh my God. These are your hidden powers. These are your hidden powers. and your ability to create something from nothing, but the creative, all the creative energy, absolutely not knowing where the hell you are. There's a lot of magic going on right now. Let's just break this up for a second with some, let's see if they want to say anything through some Lenormand. Are there any threats? Are there any? Okay, parallel to these. Wow, a commitment. The Ace of Wands. So there's a heavy-duty commitment, and that doesn't have to be. It could be a relationship, but it could be work. It could be. That's what's in. Well, that's what's in progress here. But that makes sense. It's tied to your uniqueness. It's tied to your particular interests. What is probably been not easy to embrace about yourself because it sets you so far apart. But that's not always a problem for everybody. So, is there anything else? But you know, with that prehistoric shaman magician right there. Oh, I won't let this read go on forever. I don't think. But, okay. Well, there is a lady here with the Ace of Swords. What do I have? I have a 7, a transformation. I have a 25, that's a 7, it's a transformation. And I have a 29, which is an 11, which gives us 2. So there's a lady involved. Now that just makes it interesting because it's like, it doesn't mean that there's still... It's one of the 4 people cards in the deck. Ace of Swords. So the truth. Doing the right thing. One more. Wow. That's some stuck energy. Woo! Okay. Stuck at cross energies. Queen of Pentacles, yep. Now the tree is all about roots, growth. And we have a crossroads. This is the crossroads. This is exactly our 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting that I don't have any cups on the table, like any Cancer energy. Do I? Well, no, I have cups here. 7 of Cups, so there's more Scorpio energy here. So connecting with guides, spirit guide. Ooh, how did I just get warm? It was hot. My finger literally just felt like it was next to a flame. Yeah, we go from the 5 to the 7. So that transformation, if we think about the 7 of Cups, it's becoming many things. I don't see it as confused. I have to live I've got like what, 6 businesses and a non-profit, okay, that they've given me, and there's no other way to do. You can't lump people together under one identity. You have to create different markets for different interests. And be clear in your identity in each of them. So definitely, in order to be clear with yourself, you need to be clear with all the paths that and there's this crossroads here. And we have a 4 of stability. We have the 22. And going in the right direction. Going in the right direction with this commitment. And you're like, but what the hell direction? Which direction? I don't know. It's because you have to, but you do know. It's just very scary. It's very scary. Okay. So, you know what? Let me do the doors first. And this one last. I still want clarity on what position to read that for. Okay, so the first card we had, let's get it close to the camera. And then you can see it. See the green in those? Yeah. Okay. Three-eyed raven. As sunrise hits upon the dew, a messenger raven calls out with news. Prepare for the unexpected. Okay, and that's going to happen fast. That's going to happen fast. Okay. So we're going to figure out what that connects to. All right. Now here we have, just for comparison's sake, yes, right? And we have this crossroads. Look at that. Now, there's going that way, there's coming from this way, there's over there, there's a bridge. Which way? This only has one path, but look at the echo of, yeah, look at this, focus. Queen of Pentacles. Out for the walk. Okay, so these are at cross. Not sure. So, begin here. Do not, what did I say? It's scary. Do not fear what travel brings, my dear. The moment is yours. Begin now, here. So, usually I always say that the solution is right under the problem. That it's not beyond. When we're stuck, it's because we're right where we're supposed to be in that stuckness. Because we dig through. If you look into Fiona Barnett and her experience as an MK Ultra victim, when she's triggered, she goes into the triggers. She's learned to go into the triggers to get the tool that's buried in the trigger from the trauma. If it's something like that. Either that or you jump. Right? We've got first house energy here. So that's a possibility. Okay, and here we have the third card. Very imposing. Looking up. A lot of money went into that door and that building. Freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine sacred reason. Okay. Now this means it's really awesome stuff, and it should probably scare the shit out of you. Because there's something more involved than just money. It's easier, I can still do scary things when the money's easy to do them. When it is stuff that I have to produce of my own in order to create, the opportunities, because, it depends on what this is, it depends on what it's depending on, yeah? So let's see here. If we have this commitment in progress, if we have this rebirth, this reunion, but basically creative energy, yes, parallel to the tower, so we're looking at the tower as being your own abilities, yes, And they are, you're going to be shocking yourself. Well, okay, as far as freedom flowing, what we have any flow in is with this star, right? And that's working with feelings, it's working with psychic connections. I hate the word intuition, it's a non-word. It means, it should actually, just for the sake of linguistics, be deleted, but because it means to know something without knowing how you know it. Well, no, you just decide how you know it. Either your own mind connected dots, and that's credit to you and your imagination, right? Working, doing the mind thing, or you got the information psychically from someone. That's simple. There isn't a reason not to know how to know it. There's just the fact that we have to accept that psychic knowledge is a thing. And the science, you know, how many people in how many disciplines don't want to acknowledge that psychic knowledge is real? So they could say intuition. Bullshit. So, between your psychic connections, Scorpio coming through strong with those. Which is letting go more of the, you'd still hang on to the analytic, but there is a different, you know, well, you know, there's a difference between yeah, I feel like there's probably, what am I feeling? Well, that's what I'm seeing. That's where I'm seeing the flow. There isn't, you want, like, these are here. These two aces are here. There's you in this commitment. You're both here. You're progressing. This is all progressing. So that's good. And they all need time to progress. But this begin here. Well, right at these crossroads. This is where you have to reconcile. So these are in opposition and they need to be reconciled. The roots and the road need to be reconciled for you. The path is where your spirit guides are taking you. God might not be what you recognize. Who would you recognize? There might be things that you need to solve there. Like I said, I call this the keyhole. And you need to go into that fairyland. You absolutely do. You do. Look at the magic of the first card that came out of the doors with the raven. Three-eyed raven. The third eye. Third eye. Okay, so let's see here. I still want to make up my mind about which position to read that for. For me, this is the Four of Swords. For me, is Gemini, third house energy. In progress. The stability of thought is in progress. There's that sword of truth. Third house is all about what you were taught or not taught and what you need to know. What you need to go back and find out. What you need to research. What's the truth? What went right in childhood? What went wrong? But ultimately, as far as knowledge is concerned, how accurate is your knowledge? And how does that match? Because there's such a strong tie between Gemini and Aquarius, because Gemini is what you know and Aquarius is what you like, to like your interests, right? And it's Gemini, it's how you learn. Where's your Mercury? So I kind of feel like since we've got Magician energy here, but we've got strong Pluto and Uranus energy here. And Mars. So now we've got Mars and Pluto both on the table. So that's swinging it in favor of Scorpio energy. This is getting a little clouded. I'll see if there's anything else. Here, the fork in the road. Okay, last card from, wow. Spiritual renewal. That's 3 aces on the table. That's 3 aces on the table. So we're missing the Wands, Swords, Cups, Pentacles. We're missing the Ace of Pentacles, but you don't need it because you're already there. You're past that. So we're going back to the beginning. Okay, let me think for a minute. I'm going to pause and I'll be back and we'll read for that card. Well, okay, I've taken several minutes with the book. Okay. She has different meanings. I can't make up my mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out, because any one of them could give you a little bit extra insight. Yeah. So if it were your triggers and instincts, let's say for the Sun position, I don't even really need to spell out the different positions, planetary positions. I just need to read out the meanings. But with this prehistoric sorcerer, okay, do not be afraid of your darker, more hidden impulses. Now is the time to search them out. Negative feelings and memories will be brought to the forefront. Give yourself the same understanding and wisdom that you freely give to others. You're no worse than anyone else, but you're different. Learn to cultivate these differences and make them your strengths. Some people may not be able to deal with your honesty right now. Pull back from those who currently negate you. Okay? And that would speak to this commitment to yourself. Yes? So that's in the Sun position. In the Moon position, which for me would be your conscience, you know, how it might be hitting you. The soul radiates the message, I approach the world as though I'm not wanted. The depth of this feeling cannot be explained by mere words. Your unconscious expression of this attitude both attracts and repels. Others fear you now. So you want to work on how to use that fear. So we do have fear on the table, absolutely. And that would speak to this star, yes? And now I'm going to go to the Mercury position, the Magician position. It's impossible for anyone to pull the wool over your eyes right now. You currently understand your own inner compulsions and temptations. Therefore, you look upon them without judgment. Because of this, you've discovered a wonderful ability to understand others. This card choice indicates a unique ability to delve deep into the human psyche and comprehend its most hidden motivations. So I kind of feel like, if this is correct, that we're talking about journeying, we're talking about this psychic life, this connection to the other world. Especially with this Ace of Cups here, especially with the roots of the tree. Yes. So I feel like, and I'm just going to show you what I'm doing here. See, she has a section for each planetary position. She does a really wonderful, and then there's a special, she gives the card different meanings for each position. Okay, I forgot to refocus the camera. So I'm going to reread. I got through Venus and the others, and I'm going to go back and reread them so that you can actually still look at this clearly while I'm reading it. But yes, so the prehistoric sorcerer in the Venus position. So your appetites, your attractions, for me, you know, it's like a prenuptial energy of making sure you're looking after you, that kind of love, the self-love, but the very practical. Also, it's earth energy, so connected to fairyland. Absolutely. You're now experiencing intense and bothersome power struggles in relationships. Perhaps. At any given point in time, there's an imbalance between you and your lover. It's likely that you have alternated dominant and passive roles throughout lifetimes. Such struggles have been maintained over multiple past lives spent together. Since the Sorcerer card represents a soul of great antiquity, you may be recalling past injustices on a subliminal level. This creates a compelling sense of love, spiritual harmony, and attachment, but there's also a serious lack of trust. You're nonetheless compelled to stay together no matter what. This card choice could be called the possessive heart. Now, Mars here in reverse, loves and loyalties. Struggling with this, yes, the King of Wands, and knowing what it is that you originally wanted. Did I get there already? Am I repeating something that I haven't read yet? Let's progress to the Saturn position. You're driven by compulsive forces or a sense of mission. You have so much creative energy. Here we go with the Judgment, Pluto energy, and drive that you often lose sight of your original goals. Okay, so I was ahead of myself again, but this King of Wands and that trajectory, knowing the plan, knowing the direction, knowing where we want to go. Can he remember where it is that he wanted to go, where you wanted to go, right? So that's what I'm saying. So these loves and loyalties, and this, right? Okay. Learn to understand what motivates you, and that's huge, right? Don't be afraid of your darker impulses, and dark being good as light is, because dark is feminine, yes. And I can't remember if I went on that little rant already, and in case I did, I won't repeat it. And if I didn't, then light and good are not equal to each other. One belongs on a visible light spectrum, and one belongs to morality. And I don't need evil, but I do need dark. Can't make a picture without dark and light, but we can certainly exist without evil. Ask trafficked children. So don't be afraid of your darker impulses. No, because you need them. They're 50% of your picture. But beware of negative powers entering your life. Your gifts are energy and wisdom. Life must be meaningful and exciting, or it's nothing at all. So very strong Scorpio energy with that, but also very strong Uranus. We want that excitement, that uniqueness. Everybody does. Okay, so now for your Uranus position for this prehistoric sorcerer. Your natural curiosity leads you into deeper levels and expressions of the human psyche. You have a realistic understanding of your own nature and the motivations of others. So what about your motivations, right? Since you're not particularly judgmental, you're able to attract persons who are entirely different from you. This card choice can indicate, and then of course be relative to them, like relevant to them, yes, over being relevant to yourself. So I have a feeling like this is what's been in progress, is in terms of being able to turn around, step into yourself and go, well, I've always known who I am, but I've subjugated it to the others, yes? So it doesn't get in the way of, it doesn't come between me and others. But the thing is it's become you and yourself, right? This card choice can indicate that you're too permissive with your friends. Is that true? Is that affecting your ability to choose this path, this crossroads, right? What about these roots in this tree? It's important you develop a strong sense of values. You're not a person who's easily led, but you still need to be careful of your associations. Goes without saying, but still, absolutely. Because conflicts of interest that you don't need. You don't need somebody else's conflicts of interest. And look at how strongly, like, there are 4 cards. There isn't anything squaring off. These all came directly upside down, yes? So they're not, they are aspecting this, but they're not squaring off with it. And these are in opposition to each other. So they're reconciling together, yes, like I've said. And this came out in the upright, so it is the emphasis. But yeah, all of this motion is all working together in the same direction. In the same direction. And 4, stability. Okay. So everything's working in your favor, and if anybody comes in who is not going to work with that, yes, then it's, and you probably do have people like that in your life, and you're already up against it with them. And I think for the final position, the Pluto position, you're in touch with some shadowy insights right now. Right? We're going, so there's that portal in the 10 of Pentacles. And there are these spirit guides and these souls in the Scorpio energy connecting with you. And they're going to be your best friends. There are also people on the other side that are out to get you, absolutely. But it's not necessarily where you're looking when you're feeling this star energy struggling. This is all in your favor. This is so you get smarter. This is so you step into your full power. Yes, your full power. And you are much safer. You're maybe more on the front line, but you have clear sight. You have full capacity. Yes? As full as you can have. You didn't set up this universe. You didn't build it. The mysteries of life and death are stimulating your imagination. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And what was I saying about imagination with this star, what she needs to do, right? Correct to realize that life's not all goodness. However, you may tend to dwell on the morbid side of things, and that happens. I was saying in the first time I was reading this that yes, I work with murder victims, and I've had some years where it's been like 5 years of heavy into researching for evidence and confronting gang stalkers and people connected to the murders. Maybe, I don't think I've actually directly connected to someone who has committed, well, actually that's not true. I believe at least one person, yes. Not that that's the scariest thing on the face of the planet, but no, and just dealing with a lot of, you know what's harder though? It's the people that turn their backs to it. But anyway, so you tend to dwell on the morbid side of things. It's just one phase of your growth, and you will find that as you progress, you need to maintain more of a healthy balance. Absolutely, it comes. In the meantime, stay away from negative people, right? Not people that are understanding and into the shadows as well, but just people that actually aren't into developing. And I don't know why I'm trying to explain Susan's words. Susan is very clear. Those who dabble in the occult just for the fun of it, right? Now, Susan's a witch. Susan is very serious about the occult. She knows exactly what's what, right? People that just dabble in it can bring on all kinds of dangers because they're chaotic. They also just don't, they're not, like anybody else, just dabbling. Nothing worthwhile can be born out of such immature indulgence. Exactly. So maintain your strength of character. There's tremendous character in the star card, yes? This is her book. So that's where we're at. That's where we got with this reading. I hope all of those didn't confuse, but helped give you as much insight as possible. Affirmation, I think, is mostly what's needed right now. You do have very specific people in your life that will be sending you signs. You'll have professional guides. You'll have people that need your help. You'll have gods and guides. Like I've got, I still work with Jesus, but it's Kali that showed up in my home. I come from a Christian background, so I had to solve Christianity, which meant I had to solve Judaism, which meant I had to solve Islam. I've gone deep into pretty much everybody else's cultural systems. I'm tied to Nigeria, whatever, that shouldn't be its real name. That's a colonial, that's an warlord name for it, but the Yoruba. I have family members who were missionaries who did what they could to decimate the Yoruba religion and communities, and bring in what is nothing like what Christianity should be. Well, Jesus wasn't a Christian, so I have gone in the opposite direction. They brought the Yoruba to me through their crap. Like this. This is one of their Sudan Interior Mission books. And so I'm working it all backwards. Absolutely look into the Yoruba, look into the Orisha, look into Mami Wata, look into who the Delphi oracles really were. They were really the African prophetesses. That means Lilith has the wrong name. Lilith is a construct based on trying to destroy the African prophetesses' careers and reputations, because they were the Pythoness, and the Mediterranean empires consulted with them, and so when you have Adam and Eve that don't exist except as a smear campaign, because then of course Bible came from Arabia. There's an excellent book about that by the Lebanese scholar, which makes it a much smaller story. Makes it even more real, but on a smaller scale. But also puts things where they belong in tribal warfare, yeah? So if that's any of the truth that you need to know, yeah, if you merge it with your own ideas of what's right and wrong, but basically, and the Orisha in the Yoruba, and what we're dealing with, the Greek and Roman gods and goddesses, as Sumerian, they're built off the Sumerian prototypes. The Egyptian are built off of the Nigerian. And when we kind of move so many things to West Africa as an origin, it's either going to come from West Africa or India, much of the stuff, because India is going to date back more than 10,000 years in established history. Some of it's even up to 20,000 years of established talents and skills. Medicine, absolutely. Astrology, completely. Trade, manufacturing. They were treating smallpox like thousands of years ago. They'd already had vaccines that they'd created. They've got it documented. But if what we're talking about with the Greek gods and goddesses and the Roman and those are based on, probably, if we go to Mami Wata's work, Mama Zagbe, and Nathan Howard, who was natural Tahuti, and they put him on false drug charges and false murder charges and locked him away because he exposed the Masons way too deeply. And the truth of what's been going on with, but instead, we're looking at ancestors. We're looking at very amazing ancestors from Africa, and the skill set of the prophetesses and the prophets, right? These traditions, and then their stories are taken from them and then turned into mythologies, turned into god and goddess stories, right? Which are, so we're talking about ancestral energies here a lot of the time, which is just, you know, amazing to connect with. And here we have probably the oldest ancestor card in the deck, representing the oldest ancestry. This is European, but it harkens to me to the Tassili, to the African. This one's coming from France, but it makes me think of what I know. I didn't learn in art school, fine arts at university. I didn't learn about the Tassili cave paintings. They were white. They were wiped out of the art history books. I had to homeschool myself on how much more sophisticated the African paintings are compared to any other cave paintings. So, learning that, you know, voodoo, they take things that SIM did, Sudan Interior Mission. They have, this book is about twins, and the Yoruba have a uniquely high ratio compared to the rest of the world. They have an over 5% ratio of twin births or multiple births. And so twins carry a very special role in the community, in the Yoruba community. And when twins are born, there are twin dolls, wooden dolls, the Ibeji dolls, and they are one carved for each twin. And if a twin should die in birth, then that doll takes the place of the twin, that the baby can carry it. The other twin, the surviving twin, can carry it to hold on to the energy, or their own soul and their own body will suffer and die from grief. And then the mother is presented with the dolls as well. You know, and so they take that sacred thing. You don't necessarily know, unless you know what twins mean to the Yoruba, to take their sacred twin story, and then to use it against them in propaganda against them. How evil. Jesus would have nothing to do with that. Not that Jesus is his name, Yeshua, but you know, so freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. So there's worldly freedom coming. It's coming soon. The unexpected is coming. And you need to be ready for it. You need to initiate, but be ready at the same time. When this comes, this is like a slow build. Yes, this is a gradual tower, a gradual coming into your power. So this is a life journey, a midlife journey. But the deepest power and uniqueness. So it can take a lot, but you've probably already taken steps to identify that way, and this will finish that process. I need to replace my oracle deck that gives me past, present, and future timelines, but we do have a 3-day. No, we have a three-eyed raven. So sunrise hits upon the dew, messenger raven calls out with news. News is coming. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now, but I hope this is helpful. And much love. And I'll be back soon with normal readings, I think. Okay? Bye.